All right, today we're going to talk about something that we get quite a few questions from the public out there is, which way do I pull when I have an emergency vehicle either coming from behind me or towards me? So today I've got FAO, Jeremy Hill here, and first of all, let's get out, what does FAO stand for?
FAO stands for Fire Apparatus Operator. It's a fancy name for the guy that drives the truck.
Well, you have an extremely important job because you're the one that gets everyone there safely to be able to do the job for the medical emergencies, for the fires, and you run the truck, you run the pumps. That's your piece of equipment that you oversee, and it's a vital, important thing for us. So, one of the questions that we get, like I said, is, what do I do when an emergency vehicle is coming? And an emergency vehicle can be anything from a police squad car to a fire truck, an ambulance, the sheriff's deputies, highway patrol, you name it. Anything that has lights and sirens coming up behind you or towards you. So I've taken my artistic abilities here and drawn a few things out on the board, and we're going to just kind of run through these scenarios and give you an idea of what to do when you see them. So go ahead and pick up a marker here, Jeremy, and we'll look at this first one. We're looking at a two-lane road, and red we've got signifying a fire truck or emergency vehicle, and we've got the blue as your typical, the public's car, sure, and which directions they're going. So if we've got the fire truck here, going in this direction, this flow of traffic, and a car here, where do you want them to pull? Where do you want to see them go?
Generally, anytime we can and safely do so, we want the cars to pull to the right, Chief.
So you want to see them pull off to the right like that?
Always.
Yep. And so same thing, same scenario. Go in this direction. In the oncoming traffic, where do you want to see that vehicle go?
Also pull to the right and come to a complete stop if it's safe to do so. And that's because when I drive the fire apparatus here, typically I straddle the middle lane, and that's to give room away from this car. And also, if these people are pulled to the side here, I have the ability then to go straight down the middle.
Yep.
And do it as safe as possible with plenty of room from the other vehicles on each side.
Kind of opens up the corridor for you to get through with the fire truck.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. So we're looking at a four-lane here. We've got the flow of traffic on this side going this direction. The other flow's going that way. Once again, we've got the fire truck or emergency vehicle here. Kind of same scenario, correct? You have a car here. You want to see them pull to the right to a complete stop, right? And so if you got another one that's maybe a little further ahead in the same lane of traffic, what do we want to see them do?
It's going to be the same. I want him to pull to the right and not speed up and try to outrun us. Oftentimes we see cars that think either, hey, they're going fast enough or they're far enough ahead to where it's not going to be an issue. Oftentimes we can be traveling up to 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, yep, and it's best if he moves to the side and
same thing.
Yeah, gets out of the way.
Okay, so kind of same thing. We're in the flow of traffic here. You have the vehicle clear to the right side of the two lane. What do we want them to do?
It's again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but just move to the right. Because if we get everybody to the right, and these two lanes or these four lanes here are typically on the busier intersections, and there could be a lot of cars, and I could potentially be, if somebody stops in front of me here or here, I could potentially be essentially weaving in and out of traffic. So ideally, if I've got a big open space to operate, yep, it's the most.
So we're looking the same thing. Oncoming traffic, we want to pull over, stop, yep, and that's the big thing, is to pull to the right and stop every time. So on this, like you said, you'd be right up through the middle again.
Ideally, I'm going to be right here, just basically barely straddling the center line here. But oftentimes there's something else to contend with, yep, and I may have to cross into oncoming traffic. So it's best, even if you are in the completely opposite side of me, is to pull to the right when you see us. So.
Okay, then we start getting a little bit more trickier area. Our 4 lanes with a turn lane in the center, or 5 lanes set up. Say like a Friday afternoon on 41st Street.
That's fun.
We're talking a lot of traffic, and in the middle of the summer, a lot of people out. this gets hairy. It gets interesting for a driver like you trying to go lights and sirens. So we're looking at kind of all the same scenarios. We're looking to ask them to pull to the right, stop. Same thing up here. Pull to the right,
Yep.
stop. Same thing. I mean, 3 lanes away, we're still asking them, pull to the right and
Yep.
stop. And up here, with the oncoming, pull to the right, stop. Here's the tricky one, the one that's in the turn lane. What do you want to see someone say they're going in the same flow of traffic, same direction as you in the turn lane? What do we want them to do?
I would prefer them to just stop right where they're at as safely as they can.
Okay.
And you'll see me basically drive around and pass them on the left, which is, again, this is why it's important for the opposite side of traffic to come to a complete stop. Because I don't want it, if I'm overtaking this person, I don't want to pull on to his right side in case they think that, oh, here's a fire truck and now I have to pull to the right.
Correct.
And that just increases possibility that we're going to have a collision here. So I will just basically just drive around here if he stopped and pass them on their left there.
And if they're coming towards us, looking to make that left turn in front of you, same thing.
It's going to be the same. The thing we will have going for us, because I am still going to pass them more than likely on the left side, taking oncoming traffic. But they have the luxury of seeing me coming and seeing the move that I'm making, hopefully well in advance.
So once again, to reiterate, pull to the right and stop. Make that good open lane through the middle for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we're looking at an intersection. This is where often people get a little confused and scared too.
Yep.
We've got the fire truck going this direction and then all the separate things. Once again, this individual, pull to the right, stop. Anybody on the side streets coming up, stop where you're at. Just stop and hold. Once again, this traffic coming at you, try to pull to the right and stop as best possible. Don't go into the intersection. Okay, now here's the one that confuses a lot of people. What if they're just getting into the intersection and they see you coming up from behind? What do we want them to do there?
So it will for sure depend on how far they are into the intersection, or how much time they have to react. If however it's safest to get out of our way, and that could be by simply just making a right turn if you're not very far into the intersection, or proceeding through the intersection and then pulling to a stop over here in this area and then allowing us to go by.
And once again, that's where the fire truck or the emergency vehicle is going to come up here. They're going to come to a complete stop there also, because we're checking both ways to make sure everybody is seeing us and good to go, and then proceeding through.
Yep.
So perfect. Well, anything else off the top of your head that you'd like to talk about and discuss right now as far as with traffic?
Well, Chief, this time of year obviously is construction season. So oftentimes lanes are bottled down to one on each side, and it's difficult. There's probably not any space for this person to pull over here to the right. And oftentimes people just maybe don't know exactly what to do, and they stop. And I need to get through. So really in that situation, if there's nowhere else for you to go, proceed as normal and pull over to the right as soon as it is feasible.
As soon as an open area comes open.
As soon as you can do it safely and as quickly as you can, do so. But please don't just stop in the middle of the road, because I still have to pass.
Still have to get through the construction zone, which is not easy.
Right.
Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, and I know anybody watching is going to appreciate this, because it's a lot of good information, and it's the best way to get the public out of the way safely for us to come through, and it's also the best way for us to get our people on scene safely.
Yep.
Thank you very much, and we'll let you get back to it. Thank you.